Hi, my name is Kevin, and I'm a Japanese-English bilingual, and I'm here to see if the onomatopoeias used in mangas are properly translated into English. Alright, the first scene we're going to look at is from One Piece. The English version goes doom for the onomatopoeia. The Japanese version is this one. So this is pronounced dodon. And I think it's pretty accurately translated. So the meaning of dodon, it's a very typical onomatopoeia in Japan. So it's a sound of a Japanese drum called taiko, and this is what it sounds like. In modern days, the onomatopoeia dodon in Japan is used to portray a dramatic entrance or an appearance of something. So yeah, I think it's pretty accurately translated. But if I were to be picky though, I think doom sort of portrays the landing of Luffy and Ace, right? When they hit the ground, that's when the onomatopoeia doom really comes in play. But dodon, it's not the landing of the feet, it's more of like the appearance of the two. So if I were to be picky, that would be the difference. You know, onomatopoeia is one of the most difficult part of the Japanese language to translate. So, I mean, I'm sure the translators for all these animes and mangas they're having a hard time, I can tell. All right, next up is also from One Piece. And this scene, the onomatopoeia goes fuck. All right, let's look at the Japanese version. So this is pronounced dogon. I think the difference here with the English and the Japanese is that the English version is more lighter, right? I think a thok would be more like a this lightness, right? Whereas dogon in Japanese is more like a body slam, right? Onto a wall or something. So dogon is much more dense, much more heavier than a thok, I think. So the Japanese version portrays a Luffy with more of a impactful, dense attack. Right, so that would be the difference. All right, so next scene is from Attack on Titan. So the English version is, it has Japanese written on the page. Kacha, it's pronounced kacha, and you'll know that because they just spelled out how it sounded. K-A-C-H-A-K, right? Kacha. And that's the onomatopoeia of when you sort of set a gun, right? You put bullets in the gun and then you set it, there's that metal sound, right? That's the onomatopoeia of that is kacha. That's what's happening there. You know, I can sort of understand why translators would just want to put the Japanese on the manga because it's so difficult, you know. Next scene is from Hunter x Hunter. For the English version, we have boom. I don't know what that is, but according to the dictionary, it's a dramatic and a cinematic sound effect that builds tension or awe. All right, let's look at the Japanese version. This is don. The meaning of this onomatopoeia is actually the same as the first onomatopoeia, dodon, right? It's just one less do, so it's the same thing. It's emphasizing the appearance of a wing. So there's another onomatopoeia at the bottom of the page. You know, I can imagine that the translators had a difficult time with this because the original onomatopoeia, this is pronounced zoku zoku, is one that portrays that tingly feeling you get when you think of something frightening or scary. And you know, that doesn't exist in English, so I'm sure that must have been a difficult one. All right, next up, Sailor Moon. This scene writes glow. I don't even know if this is an onomatopoeia or not. But look, when you look at the Japanese version, it says pa. That's how it's pronounced. And so it emphasizes the brightness of a light. So that's what's happening here. I'm sure that didn't exist in the English language, so that's why they had to go with glow. But you know, I feel like they could have done a better job with this one though. Next up is also from Sailor Moon. So the English onomatopoeia goes bawoosh. And apparently this onomatopoeia, it emphasizes some sort of a force. And the Japanese version goes bachi. So this onomatopoeia is used to sort of emphasize the appearance of a very strong light. You know, light that sort of like flashes in front of you and it really hits your eyes and it hurts. So that's what it's portraying. Also, another usage of bachi is like static electricity, right? When there's very strong static electricity, like you touch something and you get that bachi lightning, that's when the bachi is perfect. Bachi! That's how you use it. So what I think the English version is missing here is the sharpness of the impact of the light it's giving. So next up, Dragon Ball. All right, so we have ween here. This is another one of those mangas that decided to just spell out the Japanese onomatopoeia. So the Japanese pronunciation is also ween. And this is the sound of robots moving, right? Like ween, ween, that's the onomatopoeia. And also if you look on the right side, it says shun. So that's the onomatopoeia of vehicles moving very fast. So from that, I can understand that they were trying to portray sort of like a busy, futuristic, robotic city. So if you look closely here, it says beep, beep. That's a perfect translation. The Japanese version is boop, boop. That's exactly how we would voice out a honk of a car. All right, last one is Death Note. If you look closely here, it says Varu. I guess they were trying to express the sound of the bus. That's exactly what's happening with the Japanese version, except it goes burorororororo, and burorororororo is more towards larger vehicles, like buses, right? The engines are more slower, it sounds much more older, and it's meant for a much more bulkier vehicle. Whereas I think Varu in English is meant for much more of a faster car. So I think the Japanese version portrays more of a slow-moving vehicle. All right, that's it, guys. You know, translating Japanese onomatopoeias is so difficult. But you know, if you get to understand it, you'll be able to understand the author's intention at a much deeper level. So I hope this video helped with that. All right, that is it for today. Thanks for joining, guys. Bye-bye.